Okay, so I'm just messing up all the way around here. Okay, let's get this right. Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. My apologies to all of you guys. I have been busting, I can't even speak right now, busting my ass trying to get stuff done, trying to take care of paying the bills and everything else, and keeping up with the Dallas Cowboys as much as possible. I literally just got back home from driving from Pennsylvania, which should only be about a 2 hour and 15-minute drive that ended up being 3.5 hours because traffic has been like hell. I don't know what the hell's going on, but traffic has been killing me, bro. But I am back home here, and I, of course, going to be doing what we've been doing almost every Sunday now. This is the second year of this, which started out originally as the Dallas Cowboys bitch session because we were pissed off about how the season ended a couple years back, and we just started filling in the time, and it's been good. We've had highs and lows, and after last week, I guess we're down with some lows. We got some questions here. I was talking with my man Thomas Garrett. Let me welcome in our guest. What's up? What's up? There's my man Thomas Garrett, who's the first one in the house here. We were having a conversation of, what if there's a real problem with the Dallas Cowboys? What if the last week wasn't the exception, it was the rule? What if the Cowboys aren't as good as we'd like to think? And will they get back on track, or are we going to be ass? So, Thomas, you want to take it over from there? Welcome, Thomas. Hope you're doing good on this Saturday. The weather here is gorgeous. It's about 75 degrees with a nice little breeze. Incredible fall day right now. Shout out for everybody in New York that's been basically flooded out of the subway stations and all that. Thomas, what's your thoughts on the Cowboys? Is this a rebound for you?
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you a few minutes ago. I think what happened last week was just a one trick pony thing, and I can't see Dan Quinn, tripping up a second straight week. I just can't. Dan Quinn, he's one of those type of guys that, hey, you got me once, you're not gonna get me again.
Let's hope so.
I just can't see it happening. I don't care if it is Bill Belichick. I don't, like I said, I can't see if it's Bill Belichick, but Bill Belichick, he's one of them type of guys that, he say things in his press conferences and all of that, but I don't trust him. Going out there, play your game. I don't trust Bill Belichick. He can say, he can sit and say he can sit and give you all the compliments all you want. That's, he do that to try to reel you in.
Well, it seems like, though, a little bit of the shine of Bill Belichick has been lost, with, the whole Tom Brady situation, with him letting Tom Brady go and things, where people now question, was it him, or was it just that they ended up having Tom Brady? Was Tom Brady covering up for a lot of the problems? Now, I will say that Bill Belichick had some incredible defenses, and he has been a defensive mind that has been really, really great for them. And a lot of people don't necessarily give the credit for the defensive side of the ball, especially the early Super Bowls that New England was winning. It was later in Tom Brady's career where he started really becoming that guy that was really making all of the hay for the team and stuff. But I will bring up one point, that Tom Brady never had worse than the 8th best defense in football in any of his Super Bowls. So how are we doing today, my man? Joe?
Pretty good. Been chilling. Hoping for a Cowboys win, Mark. I hope they come out a little stronger, and the run defense is scaring me.
They better come out better.
The linebackers scare me, Mark. Leighton Vander Esch, I know everybody loves him because we drafted him, but at the same time,
He looked lost last week.
Yeah.
He was biting a lot of the wrong holes and missing his assignment. It was almost like instead of following what you may not understand is like you end up having basically a section that you're responsible for. That's your gap coverage and things.
Yeah.
And so if the linebacker ends up not covering his gap, that's where all of a sudden you leave a big hole, and you could see places in there where there was a big hole. It's the same thing if your nose guard gets blown out of there, on a double team, then that's going to leave a gap that has to be covered by somebody else. And it seemed like Van Der Esch was biting a lot of times in the wrong spot and just looking slow. Yeah, he looked slow, and you don't know if he's got a little bit of a nicked up injury or anything like that on there.
I like to see Marquise Bell a lot more. He played really good against the Giants, so I'd like to see him a lot more, especially because they're going to be using Stevenson and Zeke. So,
oh my God, Eastside Harold, they finally got a win, and he thinks all of a sudden they'd have won the Super Bowl there. Go keep hope alive there, the Eastside. Keep hope alive, man. Your team is still
one win game.
Chandler Jones just got released. Really? Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
I hope he gets some help.
He was in the same group I was in a while ago.
If it's a Cowboys group, he will. He'll be out there.
Show. He was in the
he'll
same
be out
group
there.
I was in.
Yeah, he watches DMV too. And it's like DMV is all Cowboys, You
know what?
What's that?
Eastside Harold. I told you about a year ago, Mark. Eastside Harold. He is the resident Dallas Cowboy orphan.
Mm-hmm.
He's the orphan. He's the orphan that nobody wants.
Yeah.
And we kind of brought him in the house. Nobody want him. He's just an orphan that we brought in. Even the Texans don't want him.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Well, is there really any Texans YouTubers out there? I don't. Are there?
I think so. I don't know.
Not really.
I don't think they. I really don't think there are. Welcome, Brad Harris, Jeff Lee, Dwayne Sweeney, Brad Harris. What's up? What's up? What's up? And of course, Angelica Barron. Let me say hello to the lovely ladies. There's Miss Gibson in the house. What's up, Miss Qiana Gibson? It's called YouTube. Everybody on it. Okay, Eastside. It's a good thing we've got Eastside Harold because he's the brain trust for us. Gina Dallas Diva. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, let's see. There's Crystal Caramel Corn. What's up, Crystal? Yeah, I think I got everybody right now. Well, I'm hoping that we get back on track. The Cowboys 7-point favorites. I'll be doing my usual $200, on BUSR bet. I'm just letting it ride and see where we end up. Every week I'm putting $200, giving away the points or taking the points, however it may be, and we're going to see where we stand at the end of the season. I screwed up, though, the first week because I did not put money on them. I forgot to put the bet in for the Giants. So right now, basically, I've broken even with the first 2 weeks here that I've been betting. So let's hope that I can get back on the positive side. For the Cowboys, I'm sitting here trying to I've literally had a deja vu moment to last year when the Cowboys thought that they were going to be able to take John Ridgeway and put him on waivers and be able to bring him back, when we ended up just doing the same thing again, and we end up losing a linebacker where we are really, really thin. I know they didn't want to lose the center that they just signed because they're worried about him getting out of there, but I think they thought that they were going to be cute and we're going to be able to keep him, but it looks like Cincinnati jumped in and took, I'm having a brain fart here. God, what is his name? We lose a Cowboy player and I'm instantly out of it.
Was it Bass?
No, linebacker. We ended up putting him on
Harper.
Yeah, Devin Harper. There we go. Devin Harper. Having a brain fart here. But yeah, we lost Devin Harper. We are really, really thin at linebacker. And like we were just questioning about Leighton Vander Esch. kind of worried about that situation, like I am on the offensive line, because we've got Tyron Smith. They're saying he's not going to go on IR, but we don't know what exactly the problem is with the knee, other than he's got a knee issue and he was already ruled out yesterday. Anybody else worried about Tyron Smith?
And not only that, he had our well, you had said it. You had said on your video this morning. You had said that he said he's not going on the DL.
Right. Well, but then again, they didn't put Dak Prescott on injured reserve either, and they knew he was going to be out for at least 6 weeks.
If you ask me, Mark, I think they're trying to get him ready for next week's game against San Francisco.
That may be the case. It may be, it may be. I don't know. It's just, here's the thing is, do you have faith in Tyron Smith being able to make it through the season? He hasn't made it through one since 2015.
I was telling my Cowboys family last night. I told him, I told my Cowboys family, I told him late last night, I told him, I say, hey, man, look, I don't care. I just want him ready for the playoffs. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I just want him ready for the playoffs because I don't want us going in the playoffs and then he's hurt and then we start shuffling around these linemen, and we had this one lineman who don't have no playoff experience at all. I just want him ready for the playoffs. That's all.
Dwayne Sweeney, I'm with you on that one myself too. That we should just take Tyler Smith and go ahead and put him at left tackle and keep him there. I would be less concerned about, a backup guard than I am about a backup for tackle. But apparently he has not worked at all at left tackle this past week. And as he put it, he'd be surprised if he was playing left tackle. Agoda got beat a lot last week, although I will kind of give him a little bit of a pass because that left elbow, he's got the hyperextended it 2 weeks ago, and you got to be able to have that push. Now, regardless of that's the reason why he's not playing good, the thing is he's not playing that good. That's the problem because we don't want to get our quarterback killed on the blind side. So I'm hoping that they're going to end up using a little more 12 personnel and giving a little bit of extra help if that's the case. At least that's what I would think you would have to do over there.
I think, what's his name? Abugo? I think I said his name right. I think he was more comfortable at guard than he was at left tackle. Although he did okay at left tackle, but I think he's more comfortable at being a guard.
Right, and that's where you look at it and say Tyler Smith. Now, Tyler Smith is doing well at guard so far. At least the early reviews from Pro Football Focus have him and Zach Martin as the best guard pair in the NFL. But, I still need that blind side protected. If Biotish is okay, if Zach Martin's okay, you can have somebody who's not quite as good at that guard and still be pretty strong. But if that left tackle, man, that just scares the hell out of me. Richard, how you doing? How do I have to make it to the playoffs? Well, we have to win enough games. That's real simple. Stacy Schubert, what's up, Stacy? Welcome to the chat. Eric, how are you doing in here? I haven't heard from you, buddy. How you feel about this game, though, Michael? You look kind of down there at the moment. We don't have that same energy we had last week with this. Everybody's kind of like we're going to a funeral or something.
Oh, no, it's just that, I just take it one game at a time. Last week was like, the Cowboys got full of themselves. So, after losing to the Cardinals, this is, a humbling experience for them that they needed to get some humble pie. Don't get too overconfident. When you get overconfident, and that's when things happen.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Well,
this game is turn this damn TV down. This game, and it hit me. This game tomorrow is going to remind me of the Los Angeles Chargers game a couple of years ago because of Uganda. If you remember the Los Angeles game, remember Terrence Steele. He was making his first start.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, all the Cowboy fans had already all week long, they had already let it be known that he was going to suck
Mm-hmm.
because of who he was going up against.
Mm-hmm.
Bosa. Everybody thought that Bosa was going to have a career performance against Terrence Steele.
Right.
Come to find out, you didn't hear Terrence Steele's name all day. Well, you
That's
didn't hear
true.
Bosa's name all day. Terrence Steele had a career game against Bosa. Okay, let's fast forward to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to, that's ill. If you go to, if he played tackle, we all know that he's going up against Judon. Judon, he's an all-pro.
Mm-hmm.
If he have, if you go to have, that's ill, a big ill. If he have a good game, I'm not gonna say all-pro game. I'm just saying if he have a good game against Judon, we're gonna win regardless of what.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm hoping we get that win. I can't wait to get here and see it tomorrow. After the week I've had, I'm ready for some football. The other thing that worries me thus far, and I don't understand why we're not using Deuce Vaughn anymore, or why we're not using Lipke more in the red zone, is I'm worried about how much of a load they're putting on Tony Pollard. I feel like, first of all, that they're doing the DeMarco Murray to him, that they're just going to run and run and run him and run him, and at the end of the year say bye-bye to him. But I'm worried about him being able to hold up for the whole season, or even if he holds up, how much will he have left by the time playoffs get here? You know what I mean?
Agree.
You know, 74 touches in the first 3 games. That leads the NFL in touches. That's a lot. 12 passes, 62 runs. Now, he's been doing good, but, you know, we've had the problem with the plantar fasciitis, of course, the broken ankle, and so on. I'm kind of wondering, I didn't think there was any chance in the world that Mike McCarthy was really serious about really just running the football as much as he's been doing so far. And now we've got the fans, of course, that are out there now, like, we're not throwing the football enough. When last year we were on the other side of the fence saying we need to run the ball more. So at this point, I'm figuring no matter what we do, everybody's going to bitch and whine. Right?
Pretty much, yeah. That's all they've been doing. It's like they can't have it both ways. You got to have it one way or the other. They can't have it both ways.
Right. You're not going, you're not going, everybody's not going to be impressed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to have everybody happy. That's the reason why they say that. That's the reason why they say that we're the most sports fan base in sports, because every Cowboy fan is not going to be happy.
Yeah. Have you noticed the sea change with the talking heads? How we've gotten away from interceptions, that they don't talk about interceptions anymore? And it's now been replaced by red zone.
You know what's going? You
notice that, right? What's that?
Mark, you know what it's going to be Monday morning, and the picture is already out. It's on social media.
What is?
You know what it's going to be? If he connect in the red zone all day tomorrow, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the picture is already out. Oh, that gave his autograph to a porn star during training camp in Oxnard. It's already out.
Wait a minute, say that again.
In training camp.
Yeah.
In training, it's quiet right now. It's quiet. But in training camp, a female porn star had came to one of the practices in Oxnard.
Oh shit! Okay.
And he autographed the shirt and everything. And the picture is out. It's out on social media. Let Dak connect on all of his red zone opportunities. Oh, we can't use the red zone thing anymore. Oh, we got the picture of the porn star that he signed his autograph to. We're gonna use that.
Oh shit. Okay.
You watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the talking heads need. They need something to talk about because the Cowboys is their moneymaker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say anything. Right now they're quiet about Chandler Jones getting arrested and being released by the Raiders. Now, if it was a Cowboys player, they would have been all over that. They'd be having a field day.
Yeah. Okay. I had not seen that. Yes, Angelica, porn star. So wait a minute. So let me see if I got this straight. So he signed a porn star's his autograph for a porn star.
Yeah.
He's not dating a porn star. He's not. He's not like Jimmy G, who went out with a porn star, right?
No, she just came to one of the practices like anybody else, and she asked for Dak's autograph, and Dak signed it, took a picture, and that's it. She went her way. Dak went on back to practice or whatever. That's it.
So how? Okay, so September 11th. Okay, I hadn't seen this. Took a picture with the porn star. Okay, he's also taking a picture with a guy with a voodoo doll too. So okay, right? Okay, this is why. Okay. So first of all, I don't mean any harm, but there's so many porn stars out there. How do you know? How are you supposed to know somebody's a porn star when people come up? Hey, can I get your autograph? Seriously? That's all you got on it? That's it?
Yeah. Is that all you got?
Okay.
I mean, they're willing to say anything just to get clicks and to get views and stuff like that. That's how they are. Maybe the person wasn't really a porn star or something. It's like, who knows? I mean, that's their business. Is it our business? No.
I'm sorry. That's about as lame as it gets. This is why Dak ain't got no damn ring. He's busy on dog patrol. Okay. All right.
No, it's Pogue. It's pronounced Pogue.
Pogue. Okay. Pogue. Okay.
Pretty ass white girl.
Is that what? Okay. All right. So
it's short for Pogue.
Okay, let me ask. Okay, all right. If she came up to you and said, "Hey, Thomas, can I get a picture with you and your autograph?" What would you say? What would you do? What is your profession? Okay, people come up all the time. Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, wow.
And Mark,
yeah,
if you do not visit that website, because if you do, Tracy will go to prison for murder.
Okay. All right. I hear you talking. You said she'll kill me, huh? Okay.
She will kill you.
All right. I had not heard. Okay. Here's how you know. Look, I hadn't heard anything about it, so I'm in good shape, and so I'm gonna blame it on you. Because you're the one that told me about it. So you'll be the first one shot. Okay. How about that one?
It had been, people had been, they have been whispering about it all week long.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's it. But nobody talks about Jimmy G and his 5 TDs and 6 interceptions, though, right? Okay.
You know what? You're the only person that has brought it up about Jimmy G's interceptions. You're the only person that I know of.
He leads the NFL. He's on pace for 34 interceptions.
Whoa.
6 interceptions in 3 games.
Now, if Jimmy Garoppolo was with the Cowboys, oh yeah, they'd be having a field day with that. They'll be saying this guy is leading the league in interceptions with 6. If he was playing for the Cowboys, that's how the talking heads' minds work. If anybody's playing for the Cowboys, if they do something wrong, they're going to blow it up out of proportions because they know they will get the views and the clicks.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh, he fumbled again.
Okay, all right. So, in other news, any other news that you have that's already being set up? Yeah, I heard that coming up the road. XFL and USFL may be merging. The USFL, they need that shit is just terrible.
Now merging with the XFL, no, that's going to be kind of interesting because the XFL only has like what 8 teams, just like the first go around they had back in the
I
early
think they
2000s.
both only have 8 teams. Yeah,
So with the USFL, there's like how many teams on there?
I think they both have 8 teams. Isn't it?
So that's a total would be like a total of 16.
16
which is
teams.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
You could probably do like at East versus West, kind of like basketball, where you have the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but
not only that, if they're smart enough, if Roger Goodell is smart enough, he would approach them and say, hey, let's do a little minor league thing,
Well, basically, they're actually the XFL was kind of the testing site. With having Rock there, that gives it credibility. But that's where they're kind of test ground for like some of the rules and things like that. And ultimately, it would be a good farm system. For them. But here's the problem with the whole thing is the bottom line is they ain't making money. The USFL, you had, the centrally located team hubs and stuff like that, and you guys got no fans in the stands. And can you honestly say that you watched XFL and USFL? I watched a couple of the XFL games. The USFL ones is kind of like, I'm just too busy.
You know what, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I say get Roger Goodell involved. If The Rock and whoever the USFL's commissioner is,
Mm-hmm.
they need to get together and they need to say, hey, we need to talk to Roger Goodell, see if we can make this a little minor league farm system. We do that.
Well, I get what you're saying on that minor league farm system, but you still need people to come in to watch it and want to watch it.
I know.
That's the problem.
What I'm saying is, it'll be a little minor league system for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And we love the NFL, and we can be like, hey, we're gonna go to this game. We're gonna see if we can scout certain positions.
I mean, it's not that we haven't gotten players from the, XFL, because we've got,
right.
Our kicker, we got our kick returner, Turpin, that are both here.
Right.
This was,
I mean, it's not that they're not getting it, and of course they're testing rules out and beginning to. I mean, now that you see coaches being interviewed, on the sidelines more and more, that was definitely XFL. I'm waiting to see drones flying around and stuff, coming up sometime in the near future in the NFL and things. So, but yeah, they're definitely using that to get ideas and things with it, and also to get players. It's a farm system now, but to make it viable is the bigger question. To me, it's kind of like when Sears and Kmart merged. You had two companies that were losing money that were just outdated and bad. Putting them together didn't make them one great company. Now you just got one big company that's outdated and bad and still going bankrupt. So I'm not sure exactly what that would be, the two of them merging, how much better it would actually be. Because you look at it now, when the NFL is talking about, down the road and having more teams, there's not enough talent to go around on the teams as it is now.
It wasn't like back in the 80s when the USFL was actually, they were contending against the NFL, because my dad remembers that. And then he told me a story that, maybe like a couple of teams from the USFL would have probably jumped to the NFL had the USFL not belly up.
Mm-hmm. Well, the USFL, you have to remember, people like Jim Kelly and like Gary Clark and, a lot of big name players were being, drafted and went to the USFL and things, and were giving it a little bit of credibility and some good games and stuff. But, they just still didn't have the fans to keep it going and the money for it. Eventually the NFL, boom, just, of course, being the NFL. If you have a chance to watch an NFL game or a USFL game,
and also say this Canadian Football League as well too, because you had Warren Moon who who went to the Canadian Football League first, and then he came to the NFL, but with the Oilers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, by all means, I would love to see them being successful. Because, when you think about, there's about 75 or 85,000 collegiate football players. And the NFL draft's only 300 and some, so you would love for them to have, an opportunity to keep living out the dream and things on there. But who knows?
I can say this about the USFL. I can say this, the USFL, they did a hell of a job by sending a lot of players to the NFL, and and you got a lot of players that that made the transformation to the NFL to make the Hall of Fame. I can say that.
Don't blame other people for what you do, Mark. What are you talking about, Jeff? Don't blame other people. What am I blaming on somebody else? Okay, Jeff, you lost me on that one. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, Jim Kelly, he was, one, of course, and came over. Because I remember they were talking about Jim Kelly, because in Sports Illustrated, they had a picture of Jim Kelly, USFL, Dan Marino, NFL. And they said the two best quarterbacks, in the world, and they'll never face each other because they're in two different leagues. And, of course, that did change.
It changed in the late 80s. They became two of the best rival quarterbacks ever.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, though? Here's the fun thing. Is like, why didn't the NFL buy out the USFL back then to merge with the USFL like they did with the AFL?
Because they didn't look like it. Well, again, it wasn't as strong. Here's the thing: was the AFL was different than the NFL, because the NFL was more of the running game, the old suits and stuff. The AFL was exciting. The AFL was passing. It was something totally different, and it was legitimate competition for the NFL, and the NFL was a lot smaller then. And so at first it was like, okay, let's start playing them, and we'll show them how much more dominant we are, and we'll basically wipe the floor with them. But it ended up being that it was like, okay, actually people are enjoying this. And once the Jets won the Super Bowl, it was like, oh my God, these guys are actually legitimate here. And that's where the merger, became what it is now.
And not only that, the AFL won the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. And I think after when Kansas City beat Minnesota 23-7 in Super Bowl 4, I think everybody was like, well, okay.
Was that 4? Wasn't that 3?
Super Bowl 3 and 4. It was Super Bowl 3 and 4.
Right, and then we were 5 and 6.
I believe the Jets won Super Bowl 3, but I heard a story that Super Bowl 3 was actually rigged. I'm all like, I don't know how true that was or not.
Well, you can have conspiracy theories everywhere.
Kind of got quiet there all of a sudden.
No, I'm looking it up because I'm trying to remember. I'm getting old and forgetful. I mean, I've been around for all the Super Bowls, but the Jets Super Bowl was Super Bowl 3. Let's see. Yeah, I think the Jets were Super Bowl 3, and I think us against the Colts was Super Bowl 5, and 6 was when we won our first one. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong.
It was. It was, and and my oldest nephew, I tell him stories all the time because he know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, and he asked me, he'd be like, Uncle Thomas, did you see all the Super Bowls that Dallas played? And I told him, I said, yes, I've seen them all, but I did not. What kills me is I did not see Super Bowl 5. Well, I did not see the first Dallas Cowboys.
Now here's the thing. Here's what I can tell you. Now, and I was talking to you about my dad before this thing started. It was Super Bowl 3. The Jets won. As a little kid, I remember sitting on the couch, and I remember actually riding in my dad's convertible. In his convertible, I think he ended up getting rid of when I was less than 3 years old. So in fact, I can actually remember riding in that convertible because I remember sitting in the car there, and every time we went to a light, my dad, we didn't have seatbelts. It would be like his arm would just kind of hit you in the chest to hold you in the seat and stuff because I was so small. But I was always watching football, and I didn't know what football was. I just know I wanted to be like my dad, who was rooting for the Cowboys. But I remember us losing to the Colts and how mad my dad was. And I definitely remember the Miami game in that season and stuff and how happy he was. In fact, I've got a button from that Super Bowl from back then, because back then it was hard to get merchandise because nobody, really had merchandise and things like they do now, and you got merchandise everywhere. But I remember them losing, but I don't remember the game so much. And those Steeler ones, I definitely remember those. God, I remember those. So yeah, it was Super Bowl III was the Jets, and of course, guaranteeing that they'd have victory.
That's when they said Joe Namath made a deal with the devil for the Jets to win the Super Bowl, and after that, the Jets been cursed ever since.
Well, I still kind of believe that maybe karma has a lot to do with us not getting it. Jerry Jones basically saying that if we could get this third Super Bowl, he would never ask for another thing. And then, of course, bringing Rowdy the next year. And, of course, the way he's just been with Jimmy Johnson, I feel like it's the, football gods are cursing us on this because it's